McDonald's made over $23 billion in revenue last year. Less than half of that came from selling food. The rest came from something you never think about when you pull into a drive-thru. McDonald's is not a fast food company. It's a real estate empire, and the burgers are just the front. Every golden arch you see is more than a restaurant. It's a controlled piece of land, positioned with intent, designed to generate rent long before it ever sells a single meal. That is the business. The food is just the surface. It didn't start that way. In 1954, Ray Kroc walked into a small burger stand in San Bernardino, California. The McDonald brothers had built something efficient: a limited menu, a kitchen operating like an assembly line, orders delivered in seconds. It was fast, consistent, and built for scale. Kroc saw the opportunity immediately. Franchise the system. Expand across the country. Let independent operators invest their own money and open locations under the McDonald's name. It was the standard American growth model, and at first it worked, but not well enough. Franchisees were inconsistent. They cut corners. Quality varied. And most importantly, Kroc didn't have control. He could license the brand, but he couldn't enforce discipline across a growing network of independent operators. Without control, the system was fragile. That's when everything changed. Not in the kitchen, but in the structure. Harry J. Sonneborn saw the flaw. He wasn't focused on burgers or operations. He was focused on power. Franchising alone gave too much freedom to the operator. It created growth, but not control. So he reframed the business. You're not in the hamburger business, you're in the real estate business. That idea didn't just shift strategy. It rewrote the company from the ground up. Food is volatile. Costs rise. Labor changes. Demand shifts. Margins get squeezed. Restaurants fail every day. But land behaves differently. Land is finite. It appreciates. And if structured correctly, it produces predictable income. McDonald's stopped thinking like a restaurant and started thinking like a landlord. Instead of just approving franchise locations, the company began acquiring the land itself. Prime intersections, high-traffic corners, locations engineered for visibility and volume. They would buy the land, build the restaurant, and lease it to the franchisee. This is the part most people never realize. The person running a McDonald's does not own it. They operate it. They are not the landlord. They are the tenant. Becoming a franchisee requires serious capital, often over $1 million. You pay an initial fee to enter the system. Then the ongoing payments begin. A royalty, typically around 4% of sales. And then rent. But this isn't normal rent. It's structured as a percentage of revenue with a minimum payment built in. When the restaurant performs well, McDonald's earns more automatically. When it struggles, the base rent still applies. The risk never disappears. It just moves downward. The operator handles staffing, food costs, daily operations, and local competition. McDonald's collects every month, no matter what. And because the company owns the land, it controls the outcome. If a franchisee fails to meet standards, they don't just lose the brand, they lose the location. In this business, location is everything. Traffic patterns, visibility, accessibility, and habit drive revenue. Take those away, and the business collapses. But McDonald's never loses them because it owns them. If one operator fails, another replaces them. Same building, same traffic, same potential, different tenant. The system keeps running. At scale, this becomes incredibly powerful. Today, McDonald's operates in over 100 countries with more than 40,000 locations. Around 95% of those are franchised. Independent operators run the day-to-day business, but McDonald's controls a massive portion of the real estate behind them. Estimates suggest the company owns roughly 45% of the land and up to 70% of the buildings across its global footprint. That translates into tens of thousands of income-producing properties, each one generating rent every single day. The total value of that real estate is estimated to be over $40 billion, and that number changes as markets move. Land does not stay static. As cities grow, as traffic increases, as infrastructure expands, the value of prime commercial property rises. McDonald's is already there, positioned in the highest traffic locations on the planet. This is why the model works. It doesn't depend on food, it depends on position. Franchise fees bring operators into the system. Royalties take a percentage of performance. But rent is the foundation. In many periods, it makes up a significant portion of McDonald's income from franchisees. Not burgers, not drinks, land. And that changes how the company behaves. When your core business is real estate, you stop thinking like a restaurant and start thinking like an institution. Now look at what happens during a downturn. Consumer spending drops. Restaurants struggle. Margins shrink. Operators feel the pressure immediately. McDonald's keeps collecting. Lease agreements don't disappear. Royalty payments don't pause. The obligations remain. This is why the company has historically shown resilience during economic downturns. Not because fast food is immune, but because the structure is insulated. The pressure doesn't reach the top. It gets absorbed below. And behind all of this, there is another layer. Real estate is not just income. It is leverage. Owned land becomes collateral. Collateral allows the company to borrow capital at favorable rates. That capital funds expansion. Expansion acquires more land. And the cycle repeats. Over time, this compounds into something far more powerful than a restaurant chain. It becomes a financial engine built on physical assets. Every McDonald's location is placed with intent. Traffic flow, population density, and future development all factor into the decision. The company studies where people will be, not just where they are now. They secure land before it peaks, before it becomes obvious, before competitors move in. Once they own the location, they don't have to compete for it. Everyone else does. From the outside, the system looks simple. A customer orders food. An employee prepares it. A transaction happens. Underneath, there is a second transaction. The operator pays for the brand, the system, and the property. McDonald's collects from all of it at every level. This is why calling it a restaurant company misses the point. The restaurants are the front. The real estate is the business. The system is designed so that even when individual locations struggle, the overall machine continues generating income. The asset remains. The contract remains. The rent remains. So the next time you pull into a McDonald's, look at it differently. Not as a place that sells food, but as a piece of controlled real estate. A single node in a global network of properties, all generating income, all tied to one system. A system built decades ago not to sell burgers, but to control locations, collect rent, and scale that model across the world. McDonald's didn't become dominant by perfecting fast food. It became dominant by owning the ground beneath it.